in the Stars podcast, where we are going to talk about episode 8 of The Bad Batch, titled Reunion. Uh, Fantastic episode, in my opinion. Definitely felt like a mid season finale. Uh, we will definitely talk about a certain someone who appeared. Alex, you've been a big critic of the show so far. How does it feel that Cowboy Dave proved you wrong again?
He's only done it with 3 episodes this season, so I can't really say he's proved me wrong. But this show has definitely picked up its pace now, and I hope the rest of the season stays this way. I'm really hoping we don't have any dips in episodes. The way this episode ended definitely lets us off with a bunch of different possibilities of ways we can go. That's with the Bad Batch and with Crosshair. Which I honestly think that was the more interesting part of the episode that not a lot of people are talking about.
Yeah, Crosshair. Yeah.
Which, dude, that was brutal. I am surprised that was allowed to be shown on screen.
What part? There was a lot of brutal parts.
Him literally being almost burned alive.
It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, maybe in comparison to someone like Anakin, but dude, that is like, we were watching him be fried alive with no escape.
True.
Oh, it was so nasty to watch, dude.
Felt bad for him.
I didn't.
Being brainwashed and you don't feel bad. See, this is, yeah.
Nope.
No,
I don't.
Doesn't feel bad. So,
how can I?
I guess we got to get him out of the way, right? We got to talk about it right away.
Yeah,
let's talk about, listen, I am the Clone Wars stan on this page. I am the one who stands the Clone Wars. I grew up with it. Alex is resident Rebels fan. I am resident Clone Wars fan. I was like, I just started laughing and was like, oh my God, this is awesome. I want to say, the Kiner Brothers, this has been the best animated music ever for any Star Wars show. Best animated music ever. The Western theme was great. It reminds me a lot of the deleted scene from Boba and Cad's encounter. Obviously, Hunter being a clone of Jango Fett. It was great, well executed. I think the bigger thing that I don't think a lot of people are talking about is a lot of people are probably watching this show for the first time. This is their first piece of Star Wars, and they don't know who Cad Bane is. So I think what the scene does, it establishes that this is Scary Bounty Hunter, and he's a threat. And that's what I think it does an excellent job. Like, it's just not just fan service where we see Cad Bane. It's like we establish Cad as a real threat. Yeah. And honestly, I think that might be... I don't think we see a lot more of him because what else is there really to tell with him? Unless they catch up to him. But I think Cad's going to get to Kamino, but before the Bad Batch even figure out what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say, like, you know, I didn't think I could be excited for Cad Bane to show up. I thought we had all just written him off as that Clone Wars deleted scene was canon. But no, I mean, this confirms that he survived Clone Wars. So it's exciting. It now does raise the question of, will we see young Boba Fett in this show?
Now does raise the question,
right? Which I am all excited for the potential of seeing young Boba Fett. We have a bunch of other people we could see. We now know that it was the Kaminoans who hired Fennec, most likely.
Yes, it was. Yeah,
and we know that they hired Cad Bane. So, could we be seeing a Wars of the Bounty Hunters like in animation, where it's Fennec and Cad and who else knows fighting over returning Omega to Kamino?
I doubt it. I don't really find that interesting. I couldn't believe they did it. I made a prediction video Thursday, and I'm like, Boba Fett really stuck out in my mind because they were teasing a special character. I'm like, I really think it's Boba Fett. I don't know why. I was in the right realm, and I'm like, are they gonna do? And then later, after I made my video, I'm like, oh, Braca might be Cal. I'm like, I don't know, but Cad Bane shocked me, and I'm like, I should have thought of this. Makes a lot of sense. Cad is not canonically dead, obviously, because
Right.
that Clone Wars deleted scene's not canon. That's confused people for a long time. But again, Dave using a character that's Cad was in the first season of Clone Wars, so character that's 12, 13 years old now. And I think it's great. He's been a great villain in the Clone Wars. He might have a case for the best bounty hunter we've ever seen. So
Best.
he infiltrated the Jedi Temple and a Senate building.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. I think we've
Hit-
seen better bounty hunters over our time.
His achievements are way better than Din's.
No,
way
not-
better than what.
Not Din. Din is nowhere near the top.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
Well, canon achievements, it's
Yes.
not even close. It's Cad.
yeah, most likely. I'll say it. But
Right.
I mean, here's the thing: is like seeing Cad show up again was like, holy shit, dude! We are going into the high road right now. Like, you know, not to quote the MCU, but like we're in the end game now. Like, this is some crazy stuff we got going right now. Because here's the thing: is like it took an unexpected turn. Like when him and Hunter were standing across from each other, you're like, well, we know Cad Bane has to win. We have to revisit this Mandalorian and Rebels trope where and Clone Wars, new innocent young character gets captured and main cast has to go save. So we knew we had to win, but dude, is it sad that I thought for a moment Hunter died? I
thought he died too.
I was like,
That
my
would have been
jaw
crazy.
dropped to the ground like, what the fuck? Moot Duke.
I don't know who that is, but
Yeah,
I'm not falling asleep. But I will say, I thought that droid he had was dead.
bro, I thought he was too. I could have sworn he died on screen. Yeah.
Didn't he blow? He literally blew up in the Jedi Temple, right? Do I not remember that from the Clone Wars episode that Cad put a bomb on him and he
Yeah.
blew up?
Yeah, I thought that's what happened too. I was like, did he get another one?
Because I always disliked that droid.
It was so
So-
annoying. Oh my gosh.
And of course, the droid finally does something, and it's to Omega. It's just like Omega can't hold on to the bow, and a droid that has arms that are literally twigs somehow pulls it out
Yeah.
of her hand.
Oh man, but like,
By the way,
Uh,
Cad Bane's outfit, gorgeous.
yes, nice and slim. I'm happy they got rid of like the trench coat. I don't like
Yeah.
this trench coat from the early Clone Wars.
I do, but
Yeah, so my whole thing is this. We don't see Cad Bane during the time of Rebels. We don't see him during the time of the originals or obviously the sequels. Does he die in this show? I feel like he has to.
I was gonna say I don't think this is the last we see of Cad Bane
Wow. I think this year, maybe with some like tie-ins, maybe like early
this
tie-ins.
year. No,
But like,
no,
I think he dies
no.
by the end of the season.
Think about what I'm saying. It's not the last we see of him this year. What else is coming up? What else is?
You think we're gonna see him in the Book of Boba Fett?
I do. I think he has to be in it.
I don't. I think we'll see that deleted scene play off in the show, not Book of Boba Fett.
I don't want to see him just die. Like they bring him back and he just dies.
Okay, they brought Palpatine back and he died. What? You think Disney cares?
I think Dave knows what he's doing. I think he's in the Book of Boba Fett. I think that
I
makes
don't.
sense.
I think Boss
Then what would
be more
the-
likely.
Then what would the purpose of bringing him back in this be? Why would they even acknowledge him?
To put a actual threat of a bounty hunter against.
Is Fennec
Bad
not a
Batch.
threat? We've established Fennec as a pretty good bounty hunter.
No, we've been told she's a threat. We haven't seen it. We've
Did you
seen
not watch-
Cat Bane
did you-
as a threat.
Did you not watch The Tragedy? She was pretty good in that episode.
No, we saw her. She's good with a gun.
Did
She
you
was
not watch?
pretty
Did we not?
lackluster in the Bad
Did we not
Batch.
establish that Din didn't even want to go after her
What are you talking
Hmm?
about? In the
in season?
tragedy or in season 1?
No, season 1, and then in the tragedy we saw her skills, and then we saw her skills as a sniper
I
in
mean, okay,
episode 7,
that
and then episode 8.
two
We saw her
different
as a good
times.
shooter.
Two different times because this is early Fennec Shan. Like Bad Batch even says, like she just started into this business and she's already made her mark. You are comparing her to 20 years later, somewhere around that time, 15 or so years later.
I'm just using the canon lore I have, and the lore tells me that she's a good
The
bounty hunter.
lore's inconsistent because we're only told that she's a good bounty hunter.
That's not true. We've seen her skills. We saw her skills in season 2.
Yeah, we didn't see those skills in season 1 though when we first met her. In season 2, we saw that she's good with the blaster.
We kind of do. She shot Din off of a bike. She was gonna kill Din.
But she didn't. So
No, because of the worst bounty hunter of all time somehow stopped her.
no, because she shot him in the face and he lived. It's because
Shot him in the
that
chest.
scar. No, it was in the face. I thought.
It's the chest. She was gonna shoot him in the face, and then somehow the worst bounty hunter ever, Toro Calican, somehow stopped her.
I don't know, bro. She had the high ground. And she didn't win. She should take
So-
some notes. She's not a Star Wars fan.
No, so we've established that. Let's just say, okay, Kat's definitely better, obviously, at this time period. I will acknowledge that. But why would my thing is Filoni wants to create what I call the Filoniverse, presumably, right? Or the Favreauverse, whatever you want to call it. And no, it's not going to retcon the sequels. It's going to tie right in.
Did you see the video I sent you on TikTok?
I did see it. Dude. It was funny. It's not a bad theory. It's funny.
My brain cells, dude, I'm telling you, they all just fell to the ground.
I mean, it's a creative theory, but it's not how the world between worlds works.
Right. Because
Which again,
everyone thinks the world between worlds is fucking time travel. It's not time travel.
I will say the world between worlds is Dave's biggest mistake. It should never
No.
happen.
No.
Oh, and helicopter lightsabers.
That's the biggest mistake. The world between
No,
worlds is a good concept. I'd honestly
it's
like
not.
to see the Ahsoka show revisit the world between worlds.
No, please. God, no.
No, I would.
So many.
But
no.
dude, so many people just don't understand how the world between worlds works. It's so frustrating. Because then they try to use it as time travel. It's like,
Well, that's how they do a pretty bad job of explaining what it is, in my opinion.
I mean, it's the Virgin scatter. I mean, it's literally where the Force or where the life literally connects with death. That's how we're explained how Anakin was able to become a Force ghost.
Okay. Let's get off of the worst animated show. We gotta talk about the good ones. Okay.
So let's stop talking about the Bad Batch. Let's talk about Rebels. Which we're
that-
already doing. I'm joking.
No, but
I will say I'm enjoying Bad Batch, just not as much as something like Clone Wars or Rebels.
I have to make a compilation of you, like, watch these next episodes continue to be banners. I have to make the compilation of our earlier podcast of you just constantly complaining.
Well, you know what? Maybe Dave Filoni should learn how to make season 1 a good season.
I think season 1, the first 8 episodes of this is better than the first 8 episodes of the Clone Wars. And Bad Batch is more comparable to Rebels because it's a linear, it's a chronological show, right?
Yeah.
It's focused on one group. But the first 8 episodes of Bad Batch, way better than the first 8 episodes of Rebels. Way better.
I'll agree with that. Everything good with Rebels literally happens from episode 9 forward. That's when the best part of season 1 of Rebels happens.
It's still not good in my opinion, but I know you love the show.
Dude,
I was never a big fan.
everything with Ezra becoming a Jedi is way better than everything with Omega. I'm sorry. Omega just seems like a damsel in distress half the time.
I mean, she's capable. We saw her shoot some clones in this episode.
Bro, which let me tell you, oh my god, I want to 3D print that bow. Dude, that is, I don't know why I'm so obsessed right now with bow and arrow characters. Like, her bow is just so sick. I love the idea of an energy bow. It
is pretty cool.
It feels very like Arrow and Halo, kind of just like smashed together.
Yeah, right.
I like that the shots are also pink. It's a good
Yeah,
flare.
that's pretty cool. Yeah, again, I guess our Cad Bane conversation divulged into the Mandalorian and then Rebels. But to go back to Cad Bane, yeah, everything was cool with him. I love how he won the duel. Hunter, you obviously are not good at Western duels. You completely missed. You shot the droid. Get a better shot.
Dude, how did he miss so bad? How did he miss
Because he
that
didn't get
bad?
the shot off in time. Cad was already, blasting.
Then what? But why did he aim at the droid?
He
Was he?
didn't. Because he was pulling his gun out, and as he was getting shot, he probably just pulled the trigger as a desperation attempt. Because he pulled later than Cad.
That sounds really bad.
He pulled later than Cad.
Oh, Drew, why did you say that?
You're the one who made it. I just said what happened.
But yeah, dude, I'm telling you, Cat showing up in this show, it's leading me to wonder, like,
He's in the Book of Boba Fett. There's no other explanation.
I don't think we'll see him in the Book of Boba Fett. I hope we do, but I don't think we will.
I guarantee it. I'm guaranteeing it.
Oh.
It's the first ever Wars in the Stars guarantee.
No.
I'm guaranteeing we see Cad Bane
Guaranteeing
at
that
some
we don't.
point in the show. Whether it's season 1 or another season, I guarantee we see him.
Hold on. Are we talking flashbacks or are we talking present Boba or present
Just
Cad
anything.
Bane?
Just anything. Cad Bane is guaranteed in the show.
I'm still saying no.
Okay, so what would the purpose of bringing him back in this be?
To have Boba kill him in this show.
That would.
I think we'll see Boba.
Would you rather see that in live action?
No, because it wouldn't feel right. It wouldn't feel right because we didn't see Tamora Morrison and whoever the voice actor of Cad Bane is. We didn't see them grow up. We saw Daniel Logan and whoever the voice actor of Cad Bane is. Because I think that it would be better to see it in animation because we were going to see it in animation first. I don't think we need to make everything live action. Personal opinion, personal preference. I would prefer to see it in animation. But that's just me.
You're wrong. That's all I'm going to say. You're wrong. You're wrong.
How can I be wrong? It's an opinion.
I know I'm joking, obviously, but Cad would just work in the Book of Boba Fett time period.
I think he'd be too old. He sounds old in this episode. I think that's maybe my only gripe about him, and it's a super small gripe, and it's nothing that pulls me out of the show. It's nothing that's like, oh my god, it's Cad. He sounds different. Like he sounds a little different compared to him in Clone Wars. He sounds aged, which feels weird considering Clone Wars would have ended only
a couple months ago.
Yeah, maybe a couple months ago at max. So that's why, again, it's such a small thing. It's like it's nothing that takes away from the show. I still enjoyed it. Still got my jaw dropped on the floor from it. He doesn't 1,000% sound like Cad Bane anymore.
By the way, Cad Bane has some of the best lines in animated Star Wars.
Yes, dude. Hold on. Like, I honestly think Cad Bane, like going back to your point, I honestly think he is the best bounty hunter we've seen in canon. Like that man was able to stand up to Obi-Wan Kenobi with a lightsaber.
And Anakin.
And yeah. I mean, crazy. Like, but here's the thing. Do we give all the credit to Cad Bane or the droid?
Cad Bane.
Cad Bane. Dude, he needs to get a new droid.
I thought that droid blew up. I was so confused. I'm like, that droid blew up like 12 years ago at that point. Did Dave forget or did I miss something? I think I missed something. I think he got that.
Dave, maybe he's not the most insightful, okay? Okay? Because look, if we're being honest, I think we're all pretty confused why Bo-Katan wasn't able to take the Darksaber from Din. But she was able to take it from Sabine.
Technically, that's John's problem to fix. John's the head.
But so was Dave. Like, he works with him on the show.
Dave will explain it.
Yeah, and it would also not make any sense for Jon Favreau to just forget the rules of the Darksaber. Because then Because here's the thing: is like if that's true, then it's Dave Filoni's fault. Why that doesn't make sense? Because he let Bo take it from Sabine.
But they did. I think they know what they're doing.
I do too. I think it's supposed to be an open-ended question. Which, dude, you know what? Do you think we'll see any Mandalorians this season in the show?
There was a report that Bo-Katan was possibly going to show up.
For what? For what?
I think it would make. I think we want a more of an interconnected universe. So I think her just being in the show would make sense if we're going in that direction. But I don't think we're going to see her in season 1. I don't think we see Ahsoka in season 1 either. I think those are probably season 2 characters. But I wouldn't be surprised to see her at some point. It would make sense.
You know who I think we're going to see in this? I think we're going to see Wolf and Gregor. I think we're going to get... I think it's going to be kind of like the rescue. Like, we're going to rally up the troops to go save Omega in the finale. Because, you know how weird it would feel to get her back before the finale? Like,
you think we're going to spend a whole 8 weeks without her?
Yeah. Oh, well, not without her. Like, I think we're going to see her, like, with the Kaminoans and the Empire, but I don't know. Like, I feel like it would be weird if we got her back so fast, because the only plot line that I could see them doing would kind of be repeating already treaded water, is rescue Omega and try to go save Crosshair.
Okay.
Which maybe that's what they're gonna do. Maybe like we'll be without Omega with the Bad Batch for like maybe 2 or 3 episodes. Then we'll go see, or then they'll go save her, and then it's gonna be all about saving Crosshair. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I would feel about them already getting Omega back. Like, unless Dave could make it make sense, I don't want to call it bad writing if they get her back in an episode.
Oh, they're not going to get her back in an episode. There's no way.
Well, oh yeah, I was going to say, didn't the Mandalorian get Grogu back after an episode? But no, because of I forgot. Yeah, it was 2 episodes. The Believer and then the Rescue.
Right.
Oh my god, I just thought about something with the Mandalorian. How all of the season 2 episodes, I'm pretty sure, start with the. Now I'm stuck on this thought. What are the names of the episodes?
All right, we're talking about just a reminder, we're talking about the Bad Batch here. Not
listen, I'm sorry. Okay,
okay.
Listen, this is we talk about Star Wars. Okay, Star Wars is more than just the Bad Batch. Okay.
Well, right now we're talking about the Bad Batch. So we talked about Cat. We talked about it is like I said. Talked about Cad Bane for 23 minutes. I think it's time.
I think that's how long the episode was.
I think it's time. Yeah, I think it's time to, Cad Bane, my final thoughts, and I think this sums up Alex's. Cad Bane, great to see him. We probably don't see much more of him in the show.
Which is going to be so sad. I want more Cad Bane.
Alex and I differ on one thing. I am guaranteeing he's in the Book of Boba Fett. Alex says, no way. It just might take, it would have made sense to bring him back if we weren't going to have a deeper purpose. But that's just my take on it.
Why not bring them back in the Book of Boba Fett as a big reveal there?
Because then people would wonder where he was, right? This is a setup. This is just a oh, he's here. Get excited for it.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
That's so now let's talk about, I guess, your favorite part of the episode was Crosshair. You were saying?
Everything with Crosshair was amazing.
Right. He was awesome. A great villain in this episode. I really liked the cat and mouse game that the Bad Batch and the clones had. The Bad Batch knew every move the clones were going to make, and Crosshair knew every move the Bad Batch was going to make. So it made for an interesting cat and mouse, try to hide from one another, try to catch one another. But and I think this episode was very unique, and I like how they used the ship as almost a way of just trying to kill their enemy and just survive, basically.
Yeah.
And Crosshair is ruthless. He was going to burn them. They were going to literally be incinerated.
Yep. And then, how the turntables have turned. he gets almost incinerated. Like, bro, are we gonna have to see like like an almost cyborg like Crosshair?
I don't think he was that badly hurt.
Did you see him at the end of the episode?
He was
Almost
all
his
right.
entire body was wrapped up.
It was good.
No.
Third-degree burns.
Third-degree burns. Bro. Poor Crosshair, dude. I mean,
He's not like Anakin, where like his whole body burned, but he's all right.
No, but like, what if he needs to get like cybernetic upgrades? You know?
You know who he did look like? He looked a lot like Dengar. I know he's not Dengar, but he looked a lot like Dengar.
Maybe he looks a little like him, but
I'm not saying he is. I know.
Dengar. Yeah. Dude, but what is he gonna look like?
I think he's just gonna be all right and look the same.
I don't. How do you recover from that?
It's Star Wars.
That's not how Star Wars works.
It is.
I don't know, because Kylo Ren got a huge scar going like this, like over his nose, and all of a sudden it shifted over to his eye.
Yeah, he just had a black Band-Aid on it. That's how he looks.
Because Star Wars said so.
Yeah, right. I'm not gonna complain. Like, maybe he has some burn marks on his face, but like, he'll be fine. Like, the next episode, we'll see him walking. He'll be all right.
What if he's like a Joker from like The Dark Knight in this? Just so sinister, dude. That's what I need from a Star Wars villain.
So you want to see Joker in Star Wars, and you think Crosshair can be that?
No, I don't want to see Joker. I want to see someone who's like cold, bro. I want to see some cold stuff. Like we kind of got that with Crosshair. I mean, he point blank shot someone on his squad for not following orders. But
why are you laughing at that? Why is that funny?
I don't know. It wasn't a clone trooper, so I don't know how I feel about it.
It was ruthless. A 9-year-old kid would have been like, Jesus, what's happening, man? I just want to watch my Friday night cartoons.
Well, guess what? Those Friday night cartoons, I want to see Crosshair torture someone.
Oh, my God.
I want to see Crosshair do just a bunch of ruthless things to people.
He was pretty ruthless in this episode.
I mean, yeah, like we were saying, he was going to incinerate the Bad Batch.
He was also going to kill a literal child first.
Yep.
he's like, shoot the kid.
Yep.
It's like,
aim for the kid.
By the way, his outfit, I love it. I don't know why. I
like it way more than his Bad Batch look. Like
the green visor, I love it.
That's the only thing I don't like is the green visor. I think it should be because his armor like gray or black? Because the lighting makes it look black, but in certain like white shots, like when he's on Camino, it looks like a dark gray, like a matte dark.
That's what I think it is. I think it's like a dark gray, like an imperial color.
It needs a red visor or a black visor. If he had a black visor, dude, that'd be scary. He could blend in anywhere.
A red visor would look cool too.
Yes, but it needs to light up though. It needs like the Dark Trooper light up.
Yeah. I'm definitely thinking that Crosshair is the setup for the Death Troopers.
Really?
Yes.
They have a similar look. So
right.
Which, it's also interesting because we have not seen a Stormtrooper yet.
Right. We're going to talk a little bit about a story, or not a story, but a report about the episode titles. This was from PR, so this is straight up from Disney. It's a couple interesting titles that I think hint towards that. I think what's going to set Rampart, is that his name? Correct?
Yep. Yeah, Rampart.
He's going to see what happened to Crosshair and be like, yeah, they're just ineffective. They obviously, like, he's going to see Crosshair, like, all beat up. He's like, look at your leader. Look at the clone leader. He can't, get these simple clones. And I think that's what's going to set him off and set the plan in motion more.
Yeah.
But, like, Rampart it definitely has taken over control of Camino. Like,
yeah.
The Kaminoans can't really do anything except for Nama Se and Lama Su. So it's going to be really interesting to see the transition. And I love what you brought up with Gregor and Wolf coming back. I really could see a clone rebellion on Kamino.
I think that's what's going to happen is in the finale, they're when trying to get Crosshair back. I think we're going to see Rex. I think we're going to see Wolf. I think we're going to see Gregor, possibly other clones like maybe Cut, and other people. And look, I know I talk about clones dying, but if we do see this, I think Cut will die. If Cut is recruited to that big,
That would make sense.
it would be a big sacrifice play though. I feel because if he just died like on the battlefield, I feel like it'd be a meaningless death. But I feel like if he like sacrificed himself to like save Omega,
But my counterpoint to that would be I think Cut just wants to raise his family.
yeah. But I think it would be worth it to him to go try to fight for Omega because he was basically going to bring Omega into his family.
Right.
So that's what I think at least. But yeah, I think we're going to see just the clones rise up, but I don't think it's going to be a successful rise up.
Correct, because we know what happens.
Yep. I think maybe we could see a little bit of a big black suited man with a red laser sword show up. Maybe.
That would be terrifying. In the hallways of Kamino,
Yes.
that would be cool.
Like have the lights turn to that red that they turned when from the
Grievous?
Yes, from when Grievous invaded. Bro, that'd be terrifying.
Or even the white. The white contrasted with the black would be pretty cool.
But like maybe. I mean, we know from this time there are Inquisitors around. We know
Right.
so maybe we could see an Inquisitor show up in this show.
I'd like to see a younger Grand Inquisitor. That would be cool.
Maybe. Well, he's already old, but he's already looking like his rebel self by this point.
Right, but he's I'm just saying he's younger, obviously.
Yeah. Who's the voice actor for him?
No clue.
It's someone famous.
It's someone. Yes, obviously
someone.
it's someone. It's not an AI.
Famous.
It's not an AI
But-
voice.
Dude, that's what I'm thinking is like.
I don't want any Force users like that though. I'm not down to see that.
But do you want Ahsoka Tano? Because I don't.
Not right now. No, I'm not. I
Never.
don't want Ahsoka in season 1. I know.
Never. Get her out
You
of the
don't
show.
Ah,
But who I do want to see as a Force user, maybe we see Kanan show back up. Maybe we see him.
what if in a couple episodes we see Crosshair being tasked with fighting Kanan again?
Maybe. Oh my gosh. I'm just thinking like.
By the way, I do not think we get Crosshair back. I think
I think he'll die. I thought for a long time they would save him, but I think he has to die.
right. I think Omega would forgive him. I mean, she's practically in this episode was like, it's not your fault. You know, remember what I told you? Like,
yeah, she literally even says like, it's the inhibitor chips. Remember what I told you in the brig?
But the difference is Crosshair just feels no remorse. Like other clones like would hesitate. Crosshair just doesn't show that at all. I mean, he's a psycho.
We've seen the inhibitor chips on the bad. Like we saw Wrecker was going to kill Omega, so
right, but he hesitated somewhat.
Yeah, somewhat. I mean, he was really drawing out his sentence for anticipation purposes.
Right.
But, and we didn't even get to talk about that in the last episode about Rex and his mental space and his character progression.
I think we did touch on that. I think I touched on the fact that I was surprised that he was gonna shoot the Bad Batch in the bar scene, but when I thought about it more, it makes a lot of sense.
No, not that. The Rex was willing to stun Wrecker instead of just plain out shooting him to death.
I guess, but like
I think that was huge, and we'll talk about this for a sec for Rex because he knows how dangerous the inhibitor chips are, but let alone with someone like Wrecker out there with the inhibitor chips.
Right, but I think there's a big difference between the two scenes. One, Wrecker is literally like two corridors away from a medical bay that he knows can take the chip out. And the opening scene, Rex has no idea how to get this chip out except for an Avenator cruiser. I don't think it's really character development. I think it's just Rex understanding where he is. Like, if Wrecker was going crazy just on a random planet, he probably shoots it. That's my take.
I don't think so. I think they would try. I think Rex would still try to make the extension to save him. I don't
Or
think it's
maybe,
like Rex to
or
shoot someone in
maybe
cold blood like that.
I don't think it's Rex's character progression from necessarily like from wanting to kill him to wanting to save him. I think it's because he sees the relationship with Omega. I think that's probably the reason why. He doesn't know who Omega is, but as the episode 7 progresses on, Rex Rex is not necessarily saving Wrecker. He's saving Omega from having battle scars, as the episode is titled.
Maybe. I mean, that's just the way that I interpret it. Is that Rex had every single reason to kill Wrecker on the spot. Every single reason to do it.
I don't think Rex really cares for his brothers like he once did.
I think he does. He literally said that he didn't want to bury any more of his brothers.
Right.
You know, that was his big pushing reason to want to get their chips out. And so I think Rex taking those big steps to, instead of killing Wrecker, having, to put those scars on Omega for now having to see someone that she loves die.
Right,
Seeing that it was for the inhibitor chips that they couldn't control. And I think Rex making the big play move to stun him rather than just shoot him, I think it speaks volumes for Rex in that moment, because we know Rex knows firsthand what those chips can do to someone.
I think it's just the Rex thing to do. I don't think it's
Mhm.
anything
I think it's
monumental.
I think on his mental space, because Order 66 for him would have happened not only, like we've been saying, months at max ago.
Right,
So,
but I mean, you caught it maybe, but I really don't. I don't really see too much out of it. But
rewatch the episode.
maybe, but I don't. I didn't read that much into it. I just simply thought it was a Rex thing to do. But yeah, I guess to go back to Crosshair, we've touched on him. He was great, very menacing. I hope we see more of him. I think we will. I don't think we're gonna wait another 5 episodes to see him again.
I think the show will suck if he's not in more episodes.
But yeah, he was good. He was probably my
Yes.
second favorite thing behind Cad Bane, in my opinion. What else can we touch on? I think Echo was great in this episode. I think Echo was
Yes.
100% right. Echo's like, we should have went with Rex, man. We shouldn't be
Yep.
mercenaries. And I think Hunter's progression is going to be learning that being a mercenary is not the best for Omega. And I think what Star Wars Explained I was watching today, he brought up a good point saying that Hunter's going to realize that the noble thing to do, or the best thing for Omega, is to fight for a better galaxy for Omega and children like her. So that's basically, I think Echo was right in the sense we should have went with Rex. I think also there's a part of Echo that doesn't fit in, right?
Yeah.
There's still like he's the new member. Him and Tech are basically the same, and like I really feel like Echo just wants to be with Rex. I feel like that's where he still had. There's still a part of him that misses the 501st and everything about it.
Absolutely. My mic closer. Absolutely. I think also I think maybe the show goes for maybe only a second season, and I think that's how the season or the series will end, is with the Bad Batch going off and living a peaceful life, where they're not fighting as mercenaries. They're fighting for everyone who can't fight for themselves. And that's where I put when I said peaceful, I should have put peaceful life, a life where they're able to help people who can't help themselves. And I think showing Omega that it's worth fighting for others than just yourselves, which I think would not only be a huge show message, I think it would just be a good overall thing to show in a show like The Bad Batch, which is a very, very dark show compared to the others.
Oh
So,
yeah, easily, yeah. Well, it should be. It's a dark time. It's a time of uncertainty. It's a time of a new oppressive regime coming up. And yeah, I definitely think that would be a good message. I don't think they all make it out of the show alive. I don't think it would make sense because obviously if some of them live, we obviously know what's going to happen. People are going to be like, "Where are they? Where are they? They should be in this show, that show." So like I think some of them will live. I definitely think Omega's going to make it out alive, but the others I don't know. Probably Hunter, maybe. I could see Hunter and Omega, but I don't know about the others. We'll have to see. And Echo, because Echo's been through enough, man. He gotta live. Uh but
I feel like it would be more impactful if Echo died.
why?
Because he's been through so much. I feel like him
Oh
getting
my god. Yeah, the guy who's been tortured, it'd be more
I feel like
impactful.
him getting a peaceful death of him dying on the battlefield would be the death that he deserves.
A peaceful you can't die peacefully on the battlefield.
Yes, you can.
How?
Tony Stark died on the battlefield. He died fighting for
Oh,
what he
that's
believed
peacefully.
in.
Yeah,
Yes, he
peacefully.
saved everyone. Echo can do the same thing.
In the literal sense, Tony did not die peacefully. He literally took the force of 6 Infinity Stones. That's not a peaceful death.
On a literal sense, it wasn't peaceful, but in a figurative sense, he got to die knowing that his family was going to be okay. And Echo can have the same thing, knowing that he served his purpose and that he can now rest, knowing that his duty's over.
Who was it? Waxer. Waxer died. Now Waxer died. Waxer had his brothers comforted him when he's dying on Umbara. Is that a peaceful death? He was literally shot.
Again, you are talking from a literal sense. Yes.
I don't think it's peaceful no matter what way you die.
He felt pain. Yes.
If you die on the battlefield, there's nothing peaceful about it. There's nothing peaceful about that. You
Obviously,
get closure.
If you're a random person just dying on the battlefield and the camera pans over and you're just shot dead, that's different. Waxer's someone who we'd had time with before. So him getting comfort.
I don't think peaceful is the right word. I think you should say closure.
No. Getting closure is something like Tony Stark in Endgame when he goes with Howard. When he hugs Howard. That's closure.
Okay. You're just wrong. You've been around a lot.
You're wrong. Because that is peaceful right there, is dying on the battlefield for what you believe in. What closure? What good would closure do if Echo just died peacefully in his sleep? If he died literally any other way than defending the people that he loved.
That's closure. You died doing something you loved.
Peacefully knowing that he did something that he loved.
Okay, I'm not going to argue this. But anyways,
you won't win the argument, so.
No, I don't want to stay on it. But yeah, I thought Echo was good. And I think the last thing I want to touch on is the first person Hunter's perspective. That was really cool with like the Republic Commando type of look. I thought that was really interesting. Do you got any comments on that?
Dude, I now want to see what all the Bad Batch helmets look like from the inside.
Somebody did post a funny meme, and it was Tech looking at Hunter, and it was like Tech says some dialogue where it's like, "Yo, Hunter, you got any games on your phone?" It's like, yeah, it was really cool because like you finally got to see what the clones see,
which
and
I'm like, not a lot.
They're very skilled then, but
yes.
they got limited visitation.
Like out of the helmets that I have, my clone trooper, my Mandalorian, and my Iron Man, you cannot see for shit in those helmets. Which props to those troops because you can't see, and especially when you're in somewhere like Umbara or in the Venator when they're in the engine, it must have been dark as crap in there. So not being able to see anything must suck. Because like when you are in there, dude, you have like this is what your vision looks like. Your vision is like cut off like that, so you have to look down super far to see anything.
Right.
So props to any clone trooper, especially stormtroopers too, dude, because they don't have the open visor; they have just the goggles. It's literally like they're doing this.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just liked it. It was really interesting. I'd like to see more of it actually, but
yes.
This episode gets a 9.5 out of 10 for me. I thought it was fantastic.
11 out of 10.
I can't wait to see where the show goes. Definitely felt like a mid-season finale. But yeah, I can't complain. My co-host over here was very critical of the show early. I said, "You just wait."
What?
I told him, just wait.
You are acting like I've been saying this show has been nothing but bad. I have had my fair criticism points of no Crosshair has made the show boring.
Yeah, sure. You've been very, very critical compared to me, though.
Critical? All I've been saying is that I want more Crosshair and that I wish the show was just a bit longer.
That's your want.
That's not critical.
That's your want. Talk about what did happen.
We do.
That.
I do. And I talk about how I wish we got to see more of the villain.
Okay, that's fair.
That's my only big criticism of the first half of the season is that we didn't get enough Crosshair. And I'm hoping now on the latter half that we will.
If we go back in the archives, you were worried about the show from like episode 3 and on.
Correct, because we hadn't seen much.
Well,
we were just watching The Mandalorian in animation. Okay,
I told you you were going to be wrong. By the way, that really stopped. I think this was one of the more creative animated Star Wars scenes recently. I mean, they were on Bracca. That's a cool tie-in. They used a Venator in a way we've never seen before. That was cool. The only thing that's similar to The Mandalorian is that the kid got captured.
Yeah. But The Mandalorian is like that, similar with literally almost every other Star Wars show. So
right, well, I love Star Wars is about found family, so that makes sense that something like that would happen where the family breaks apart.
Sure.
All right, time to go into our first story. Jordan Mason says, interesting. PR included, or actually included for the Bad Batch. We got episode titles for July. July the 2nd, we got Common Ground. July the 9th, we got Devil's Deal. July the 16th, we have Rescue on Ryloth. July the 23rd, we have Infested. And July the 30th, we have War Mantle. Now, the two headlines that stick out to me are Rescue on Ryloth and War Mantle. Obviously, Project War Mantle was the project that helped start the Imperial Army, the Stormtroopers as we know them. Alex, you got any thoughts on the titles and what interests you?
Devil's Deal. I want to know what that would be about. War Mantle also.
Do you think that has something to do with Cad Bane?
I don't know. I think it are we going back to Sid? Like when I think of Devil's Deal and I think of I've made a deal with the devil. Typically, that means like the character has made like a huge thing. Like if you do this for me, then I'll tell you this piece of information that you want. But when they have to do something big, it's like I need you to take out this person.
Right, but with the bad, like you make a deal with a bad person essentially.
Yeah, so it's like could in Common Ground they capture Cad Bane, for example, after returning Omega to Kamino, and then for Devil's Deal, we see them make a deal with Cad Bane. And in exchange, they get Omega. I
could see a Devil's Deal Boba Fett hiring him to kill Cad Bane, maybe. Yeah, you're good. But I could see in Devil's Deal maybe Boba Fett hires Cad Bane. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, Devil's Deal and War Mantle are definitely ones I'm most interested in. Definitely the most boring sounding one is Common Ground. I don't know what that could be. I mean, I don't know what any of these could be. Really, the only two that really stand out is like you could probably get a pretty good assumption what they are is Rescue on Ryloth. You can assume we're seeing somewhat. We're going to Ryloth, so and same with War Mantle. We know that that's basically the project of the Imperial Navy. So we can
think
only assume what's going to happen in those episodes.
I think Rescue and Ryloth. I think we're going to see Young Hera.
Really?
Yes.
Maybe I think we'll see Cham.
I don't like him. I've never liked him.
I can't remember if he died in Rebels or not.
He didn't.
I don't remember him dying.
War Mantle. Did we think War Mantle? Because that's 2 episodes before the finale. Do you think that's the uprising, or do you think that's the setup for the uprising? I think that's the setup.
Setup. Okay. Episode 15 is the start, and then episode 16 will be the finale.
The finale.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Yeah, I think War Mantle is enacted. I think that's when we first see the stormtroopers.
And you know what? What if Infested is about stormtroopers and clone troopers all together? Like, what if Infested is about we said his name earlier. Rampart?
Yeah, Rampart, yeah.
What if it's him basically trying to mix him up with Stormtrooper and Clone Troopers? Like, we see the performances of the Clone Troopers now to Stormtroopers.
I could see that. I was also thinking Geonosis, like bugs. But I think it'd be cool to see Geonosis again. But
I do too. But like, what would the significance be? It'd have to be something huge.
Another droid factory. I'm
the Martez decisions.
Poggle the Lesser.
No, that man dead. He's dead.
He's dead in Rebels, right? Obviously.
Well, Click Clack's the only one in Rebels alive.
That's its name?
Yes. Click Clack.
Click Clack.
Click Clack. He was the survivor.
Did that egg survive?
Yeah. He was the survivor of Geonosis.
That's sad, man. They used to have zombies there too. That was a great Clone Wars arc.
So guess what? The fate of the Geonosians are relying on someone named Click Clack.
It'd be cool to see them in live action again.
Maybe. But yeah, those episodes are interesting. I really want to know what the finale is going to be called.
We don't know that yet because the finale is in August. So we'll see. Yeah. All right, so we got some kind of Star Wars news, but it does include Star Wars. The Hollywood Reporter is reporting that Disney Plus's original series, including The Mandalorian and The Book of Boba Fett, will now release on Wednesdays rather than Fridays. By the way, this is one of my favorite pictures of all time. I don't know why.
You should make it your Discord profile picture because you have Cobb and Den.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see this. It's great.
So moving to Wednesdays, obviously because they don't want to compete with things like Netflix, especially because they have a lot of their originals coming out Fridays now. So, and especially those hits like Outer Banks and Stranger Things and all that coming out, which it's one of those shows I need to catch up on. So, moving to Wednesdays, definitely an interesting move. I would have thought maybe moving to Thursdays would actually be a better move, but I understand the move to Wednesday. It's direct middle of the week, so something to get your week through faster, I suppose. But no.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense to me. Loki broke the record for the most viewed thing on Disney Plus by like 90 million. Like it smashed The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So which is great. Loki is obviously a great show, but I also think the Wednesday Disney Plus people and Disney people obviously looked at the data and saw that Wednesdays were a good day to put Loki, and it obviously worked. It obviously showed. And I think Loki was their test to do this. And I think once they saw the numbers for Loki, that they were going to move to this model. And in the Hollywood Reporter, they still don't know if we have a situation like we do now with a Marvel and a Star Wars show, what they're going to do. I mean, I don't think it would make sense to release them both on Wednesday. we're gonna have to wait and see what happens there.
Look,
Uh,
I'm someone who thinks that we should have things like Mando Monday, and that's when Mando should come out, is on Mondays. That's what I think. And then we should have things like Book of Boba Fett come out on Friday, so you can have Friday Fett. I mean, it's a bad thing. Look, Star Wars needs to get better names for for their shows, so we can put them with days of the week. But that's what I think they should start doing.
I think it would get people confused. I think Disney wants a set date to establish. Netflix.
Maybe, but I think moving to Wednesdays would be a lot confusing. But
well, if you release everything on Wednesday, I think people will start to get used to it.
Yeah, I mean, which is weird because when you have shows like The Mandalorian, Loki, most likely the Book of Boba Fett, I feel like Netflix wouldn't be able to beat them in the ratings. But I don't know. I mean,
well, Disney's not worried about them beating them necessarily. They're gonna take away enough viewers, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. It's just I wish that.
Think about this from Disney's perspective. If you get Wednesday and the full day Thursday, you're gonna attract a lot of buzz, and you're probably gonna take the buzz away from whatever's coming out for Netflix. That's what they're thinking. So you're gonna take away viewers from them, and you're gonna add viewers to your total because of the buzz from your show. So that's what they're thinking.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm
plus the models for Disney and Netflix are different. Netflix is the binge model, while Disney Plus has been the week-to-week type of deal where they release one episode per week.
Right. Yeah.
Netflix.
Yeah. I mean, Wednesdays it's definitely interesting. I like the middle of the week, but Fridays will be missed for Mandalorian and whatnot. Continue on.
Yeah, I think it'd be I think it's going to be more difficult maybe for some people to watch it during Wednesday and Thursday, but they'll hear the buzz from Wednesday and Thursday, and they'll be like, "Oh, I got to see it on Friday. I got to see it after work on Friday." So I guess that's my take on it. People who really want to see the show will make times to see it on Wednesday. So I definitely think that's how it's going to work. And plus, there's not much to watch in the middle of the week, right? With Netflix's binge model, everybody watched the episodes, throughout the weekend, not to get spoiled. So I really think that it's going to work out just fine. Loki, again, like I said, smashed the Disney Plus record. And I think the Star Wars shows will do just fine in that pattern. So time to move on to our next story. And it has to do with me and Alex's favorite upcoming project, Star Wars Visions.
Still a thing.
Yeah, it's still a thing. So it's Star Wars Visions. We're gonna get a first look at it on July the 3rd at an anime convention. Visions is probably my least anticipated project, besides a droid story, because I don't like droids in Star Wars, except for R2. But yeah, Visions, I know some people are excited. I've seen some people on TikTok really excited for it. I am not one of those. Alex, what are your thoughts on Visions, I guess?
Not excited. I could literally care less. I mean, it's a thing where they didn't market it, so no one cares. So I don't. If it's still expected to come out this year, it would be a little weird to like if it comes out in like August time, which is funny because isn't What If supposed to come out around that time for Marvel?
What If is releasing in August? Yes.
It's gonna be weird because those are probably two of the least anticipated things for Star Wars and Marvel to have them come out in the same month. I mean, look, I'm excited for everything Star Wars, but this is one thing where it's just like it's gonna have its trouble to capture me. I'm not an anime fan. I'm about to start watching Demon Slayer on Netflix. Maybe I can watch that in preparation to get used to it. But Visions, I mean, I really hope it's a hit thing. I really hope it proves me wrong more than Bad Batch at this point. So yeah, that's my thoughts. I'm excited, but not excited.
So I
overall.
haven't really watched any anime, so it's going to be my first experience with anime. I am definitely going to watch it. I'm definitely interested to um, see what it looks like. I think that's what I'm mostly interested in. Um, I don't know what the stories are going to be about. I'm really interested to see what the Japanese short film creators, what their interpretation of Star Wars is, and I'm really interested to see just some unique stories. I don't think these stories are gonna like massively affect the canon. I could be wrong, but I think I just want to see some cool, interesting stories. I would like to see a lot of samurai inspired stories. Uh, I think it all be cool. I think there are some certain characters I'd like to see. I think a character that would fit in anime form is like Grievous. I'd like to see
Yep.
Grievous in this. Uh, I'd obviously like to see Jedi from all types of time periods. Maybe we get some stories we've already seen, but it's going to be 10 episodes. We know that. So I'm going to take a look at it. I'll
Yep.
definitely watch it, but it's not high on my anticipation list because I don't think it's going to do much. That's just why.
Yeah, same. I mean, it's anime. I've never watched anime before, so it's either going to be my first or second thing of anime that I'll watch. So, I mean, again, it's a thing. I'll watch it, but I'm not going to be like, ooh, I can't wait for Visions to come out. So, that's my take on it.
Okay, and I guess our biggest story of the week. This came out on Monday, I believe, and it was shared by the guys over at the Illuminati. It's an exclusive report from them. They state Ahsoka will include the shocking return of former Jedi Barriss Offee. This is an exclusive they are running. Uh, Barriss is being cast in the show. According to their sources, Ahsoka's looking to cast Barriss Offee. She's listed as a lead character in her 20s to 30s, and they are looking to cast an Asian woman for the role. Uh, so it would be really interesting to bring Barriss back, obviously, and I did not see this coming. Again, this is just a rumor, but the Illuminati is pretty credible. So, Alex, what are your thoughts on this rumor?
Not true. um, I don't want Barriss to return. I really would have just liked to see her die with the Clone Wars. Um, the thing is, with Barriss, she served her purpose as a character. I feel like there wouldn't be much reason to bring her back. Maybe because the thing is where do you have room for her? We already know who the antagonist of the show is going to be. And that's Thrawn. Bring Barriss back. What would she be? Would she be another antagonist? For a miniseries like Ahsoka, I don't think it has room for Barriss. Maybe a mention of Barriss, maybe like a flashback, but like bring her back in a major role, I don't see it happening.
Well, they also report in that same article that it's a lead role. So I think my take on it is that well, I think they're right. I'm pretty confident that they're right. A lot of people or a lot of leakers are saying this is pretty credible. I mean, Daniel Rickman, who's reported a lot for Spider-Man: No Way Home and other upcoming Marvel projects, has got a lot of stuff right. Is corroborating this report. Den of Nerds, my guy Josh, is also saying that this is very true. So I definitely think this is going to happen. And I think Barriss is the perfect antithesis to Ahsoka, to her ideology. Barriss is an essential character in Ahsoka's story. She's the catalyst for why Ahsoka left the Order, essentially. But it makes a lot of sense for Barriss to be in the show. Thrawn in Daniel RPK, I know, reported that the Ahsoka synopsis, it's basically the search for Thrawn. So I don't think Thrawn is actually the villain. I think he's just the MacGuffin, him and Ezra.
Yeah.
And I think that Barriss will be an enemy of sorts, and then by the end, I could see a team up because I definitely think Ezra's gone to the dark side at this point. So I think it would make sense that Barriss and Ahsoka team up. I don't think Barriss was an Inquisitor. I really don't see that.
No, she got confirmed to not be the whatever sister.
Right, but she could have been another Inquisitor. We don't know. I think there's a couple options. I was thinking maybe a flashback of her as an Inquisitor fighting Ahsoka, but based off this report, I think she's going to have a role in the show. Dave Filoni in an interview even said I had more planned for the character, so it would make sense to bring her back, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't be excited for Barris showing up. Barris just isn't an exciting character. Does that sound bad?
No, that's your take, your opinion.
I think she played her part. I think she played her part perfectly, and I feel like bringing her back would kind of be. I feel like it would diminish what she did in Clone Wars, like her point entirely, because Ahsoka's not a Jedi anymore. So,
well,
her.
I think she is at this point. I think Ahsoka's come back.
I don't think it'll be that until maybe after she gets Ezra back.
She has her Jedi braid back. She has her Padawan beads.
Maybe, but she would have been a knight by this point. Why does she need her Padawan braids back?
I think she has attachment to the Order. I think she heard about what happened with Luke, and we don't know if she's met. I don't think she's met Luke at this point, but I think she's heard of who Luke Skywalker is, and I think she's restored hope.
Yeah, maybe. So I don't know. That's I would be excited to see Barris, but it's not something that I want. I don't want Barris to show up. I think we could get someone more exciting as the villain.
Who do you think could be the villain then?
I don't know. Create someone new for all I care. But her showing up just to me wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. I feel like it would make more sense to her to die during the time of the Clone Wars, but that's just me.
I think it makes perfect sense. I think she's the perfect foil to Ahsoka. I think we've established that since the Geonosis arc. The perfect Jedi. Luminara taught her to be textbook. Yep. Anakin taught Ahsoka to be a wild card, think on your feet. And then in the Clone Wars, obviously, Ahsoka loyal to the Jedi, and Barris obviously wasn't. She was so caught up in the ancient texts and the rules that she became a rebel herself and left. And I really think Dave left it open-ended for where she served her purpose in that arc, but there's definitely more out there. She's definitely Ahsoka is a Force user at this point. I wouldn't call her a Jedi or Sith. I think she's more on the light side, but we wouldn't call her a Jedi or Sith. And I think Barris is the same thing. I think Barris is a Force user, but is on the dark side. She's more
kind of like dark Kylo Ren's Snoke-like figure.
Yeah, kind of, but less powerful, obviously.
Yeah.
So I think she's the perfect foil to Ahsoka. I think it makes a lot of sense.
I feel like it just have to be done right.
I trust Dave, so whatever he wants to do.
We're trusting Dave for a lot, okay?
Right, but he hasn't disappointed.
Yeah.
He never fails.
Yeah. Resistance.
That doesn't count.
A lot of the episodes of The Bad Batch.
That doesn't. We disagree on that.
No Crosshair. Mandalorian season 1.2 in animation.
I totally disagree with that.
Don't even. You said multiple times that you could see the parallels.
I see the parallels, but I don't think it's a carbon copy.
Okay.
I see parallels, and that's fine.
When Omega becomes Force sensitive, we'll have that talk again.
She's not gonna.
Dude, if she becomes Force sensitive, dude, I'll lose my mind.
No, I can't wait to hear that rant. I'll let you talk the whole episode. I'll just sit back.
I can't wait for Dave to make her Force sensitive.
There was another story I was going to put on here, but the hashtag show reported that there was going to be an Inquisitor show, but another source, another leaker, who was it? I totally forget who it was. Oh, LRM. They said they shot it down immediately. And just to preface this, guys, for my opinion is if other leakers corroborate a story, if they believe that it's true, then I'll usually talk about it. Or if other leakers don't deny it, then I will usually run it if it's a credible leaker. But when another leaking website shoots down a rumor immediately, if there's any conflict like that, I usually will say it's probably not going to happen. The Inquisitor show sounds cool, but it would make sense if it's not true, obviously. So I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, but
yeah, I basically it's whatever. Cool if it happens. Oh well, if it doesn't, I wouldn't be excited for it. So
you're not excited for a lot of things. No, I'm joking.
I am, dude. There's still one thing I'm still way more excited for than anything happening. I'm still waiting for my Taika Waititi Star Wars movie. I can wait. I can hold out for as long as I can.
You got 4 more years, so.
Yeah, sadly. So that's all I got. I mean, Inquisitor show, if it does happen, won't be excited. If it doesn't happen, oh well. I can keep looking forward to 2025.
Yeah.
No, I can still look forward to the end of the year for Spider-Man and for Book of Boba Fett.
It's going to be an exciting time. Can't wait to talk about it all. So, guys, that's going to do it. I know it's a shorter show. We didn't have much news, and we talked about Cad Bane for 30 minutes. We fanboyed over Cad Bane.
Again, we talked about Cad Bane for about as long as the episode was. So,
Cad Bane had like, what, 2 minutes of screen time? And we talked about him for 30 minutes.
I mean, to that point, Luke Skywalker had maybe same amount of time as Cad Bane, maybe a little longer, and people were talking about him for months after The Mandalorian. So
I'm just gonna say today is one of the days that I love being a Star Wars fan. Just seeing people's reactions all over the internet.
That's my favorite part about like when Loki or when Bad Batch and these big things happen. I love just seeing reactions to it, dude.
I think me and Alex we're gonna stay up and watch Book of Boba together, and we're gonna do reactions together.
We have to.
We gotta do that.
Book of Boba Fett, dude. I'm so excited for it. I don't know why.
I think I'm more excited now because I really think Cad Bane's going to be in it. We discussed that for 10 minutes, but I really think that Cad's going to be in it. I really think some cool bounty hunters are going to be in it. And I don't know why, but The Mandalorian made me fall in love with Boba Fett. I wasn't a huge fan, but Mandalorian did a great job of
showed us why he's a good bounty hunter, why he's a good character.
Plus, Tamora Morrison, fantastic.
Yeah.
Temu is the best. Okay, Alex. You want to do the outro?
I don't want to, but I can. That's going to be the show for today. We talked about a lot. Bad Batch. We fangirled for Cad Bane for so long. So you guys can go see this on YouTube at Drew H. Maybe tomorrow. Tune in Wednesday, 8 p.m. EST for our discussion about Loki, episode 3. Whatever that show entails, because that show is constantly blowing us away. You can catch Drew at Hand Me Demand on TikTok. You can catch me on TikTok at Candy in My Van. So we'll see this uploaded at the Drew H channel, and we'll post updates, of course, on our TikTok, Wars in the Stars. So, Drew, if you got any closing thoughts, closing things you need to say, go ahead.
Yeah, again, obviously, if you're on the YouTube, you're seeing this on Saturday. Like Alex was saying, if you want to see these live, the Bad Batch reviews, they're on Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern on Twitch at Hand Me Demand. And if you want to see our Loki reviews, they're on Wednesdays on Hand Me Demand on Twitch at 8 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, we are really excited. We got a lot of stuff coming up. In a couple of weeks, we got 3 podcast episodes with Loki, Bad Batch, and Black Widow. We're really excited to talk about all of it here coming up. So we will see you all in 5 days to talk about the midway point for Loki. So everyone have a great night, and we will see you Wednesday. Bye-bye.